Today I'm going to try out something, a series about some of the songs in the Mos Generator catalog that could use further explanation, or I like them a lot, so I want to tell you how they were conceived or where they came from, origins and recording and all that. And today I'm going to start the first one with a song off of Electric Mountain Majesty. Came out in 2014 on Listenable Records. It is the third song on the album. It's called Enter the Fire. I was working on it as a demo for a side project I have called Heavy Pink. And when it came time we needed some more songs for the album, so I just kept the basic parts and had Sean and Scooter come in, the original rhythm section, and track the parts that I needed. Small fact, it's the only song from the first band era, the Sean and Scooter era, where the drums were done to a click track. And that's because they were already there. And then the guitar, the chugging guitar was in turn turned into cello. So I had a friend of mine that I went to high school with. I had him do the cello parts, and he did it to a click track. So everything kind of had to fall into this situation. So let's see. I feel like maybe more than any other Mos song, it's a bunch of somewhat obvious elements that make up the song. I mean, of course, there's little bits that are particularly Mos Generator or particularly me as a writer, but there are some very obvious, like tributes to other songs. Take, for instance, the intro. That's the Cellos by Spencer Hovesklin. Now, where you hear that, if you listen to Good Vibrations in the choruses and at the very end when the song stops and those chunking cellos is where I got that sound. It was originally done with the guitar. The demo was done with guitar, and I'm like, man, that would, I'm a big Beach Boys fan, so hearing that on there, and of course the Beach Boys was a lot faster, but I'm like, that would sound really neat if it was done like that. So that's where that came from. And then the second and possibly the most obvious is the reference to the Temptations. Papa Was a Rolling Stone. The whole feel of the song has traveling desolate highways, crossing deserted and burning. That whole feel has a bam bam boom. It's the same. It's slower, of course. And then there's another part that calls to that right here. And on Papa Was a Rolling Stone, right before the main vocal starts on the song, there's done with strings. And so I kind of took that from there. And then the third steal is maybe the least obvious, but I hear it. It's not exactly the same notes, but it comes during the chorus. So the do is Planet Claire by the B-52s. So anyway, which is also some probably sci-fi or some old horror flick ripoff they might have done with a theremin or something. And there's some along with the cello, there's some baritone guitars following a lot of the parts, a lot of the bass parts and stuff, and I feel like this song is completely overlooked in the Mos catalog, and it is a song that I think is really interesting in a heavy rock situation. It has a lot of interesting textures to offer, the production, the rise and fall of everything, and then the explosion at the end, and and then the bring down at the very end. That's why I'm doing this series, to kind of explore things that I feel like are overlooked in the songwriting, and in cases like this, the production of certain songs. I feel like our records are produced records. Like, a lot of the times there's a lot of thought that goes into how these songs are made and how they're constructed and put together and mixed and all that. So if this works out cool, I'll continue to do these kind of videos. And I didn't have the multi-tracks for this. They somehow got lost. That's the computer age, which is a real bummer. I might be able to retrieve them somehow, or I would get more into the multi-track soloing and that kind of stuff. If this works out cool, I'll continue to do videos like this upon request. I mean, I'll do stuff that I want to talk about, but I'll also take anybody's request if they want to hear how a song was constructed, written, or what it's about. Put a comment or message me or whatever, and I'll see if I can feel up to continuing this stuff. It gives me a chance to geek out and talk about stuff. So thank you for checking it out. Cheers.